Hello, in this video we're going to create a Python program that will calculate the area of a triangle. So what I've done here, this is a website, this is a calculator for area of a triangle. This is from Omni calculator created by Hannah Pamula, and in this calculator the choices are for computing the area of a triangle are base given solve the area of the triangle given base and height. That looks like this picture here where we have the base and height. We can solve the area given three sides, that will be SSS, and then solve it given two sides and an angle between, SAS, the angle Y is there, and then two angles and a side between them, that would be ASA, two angles. So it should be that, yeah, there we go. So we have two angles here and a side in between. All right, and then if I come all the way down here, we have all the formulas or equations that we need to compute this area. So there are four of them because there are four choices, and I believe they do go in order. So the first one is area is base times height divided by 2, and then this is given two sides and an angle, and so on. And we do have to convert these symbols into Python language. For example, we have the square root symbol there. We need to convert that into SQRT, and then we have to change these symbols here. In our program, we'll have either A, B, or C for the angles, capital letters, and then A squared will be A with two multiplication symbols and a 2 for squared. So that we have to basically convert all of this into Python language, but this is a really good start for us that we can just copy and paste and change it from our code. So let's go to our code. So our first function here, well, first of all, we import everything from math. So for math, import the symbol that imports everything, and then we have this print menu here. So this is just like her calculator. We have find area given. So these are the four choices: base, height, and then all the way to two angles and a side between them, ASA. And then over here for our functions, I would like to call these tools. So these are tools to create our program with. So we have getting size A through all the way to H. Obviously, we're not gonna, we might not use all of these, but they're there for us anyway. It's a convenience for us to just copy and paste from here, just whatever we need. And these are the capital A. This is to get angle A. So we will need to use these for sure in our program because we have to solve the area based on angles. So we have three angles and then four sides. And then we have our first triangle area. This is given base and height. This would be the second function, obviously, given SSS. So what we need to do here is in the try block, we need to fill in the user inputs for whatever we need to borrow. So if we need to borrow a side, we need to assign A, B, or C and say get A, B, or C. So that would be up here, get C, for example. So that's what we do in the try block, and then we have exception handling, and then else we put in the area formula. So area formulas are all the way down here. So we need to copy and paste this, or this one, the second one, and we put in the functions according to what we need to do. And then we print the results to the user, we format it into 3 decimal places, and then we break out of the program. That's it. And then we have the triangle area function. This is the main triangle area function here. And this calls all the functions based on the user input. If choice is 1, we call the triangle area given base and height. So elif the other choices, we call the other functions, and we set the Boolean variable flag to false, so we can exit the program, exit this block of the code, and come down to the answer. We ask the user if they want to keep running the program. If they want to exit the program. If they say yes, then if they hit Y, actually, we exit the program. If the answer is Y, we exit, break. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start building our first function here. This is the first function given base and height. So what I need in this try block is B and H. So B equals, we're just going to copy get B. This is for the base. So copy that, and then H equals get H. I'm going to change this to get H. All right, and then in our else block, we're going to use this formula down here, computes the area. So actually just Control X so we can get rid of it on the way. So go ahead and paste that there, and that's done for our first function. We get the user input for base and height, and areas base times height over 2, and then we print the results. All right, so that's the first function. Let's look at the second function. In this function, we need sides A, B, and C. So do the same thing. Oops, actually we're not gonna, and let me see if, oops, yeah, there we go. My indentations need to be on point. So in this one, we're gonna borrow A, B, and C. So copy this one here, we come down and we say A equals get A, and then B equals get B, and then C equals get C. So this is going to be get B and C, like that. All right, so those are the three user inputs we need in this function. And then to compute the area, we have the formula that will be this one that uses the three sides and computes the area. So we're going to copy that and paste it there. And that's done for our second function. In the third function, we need two angles or two sides and an angle. So for this function, let's see. So I'm gonna borrow A, B, and C again. A, B, actually just A and B here in this one, and then C. We say C equals get C. This should be angle C. Get angle C. Angle, oops, and then C. Let me just double check if that's angle C. Yes. So we call these. Wait, made a mistake. There we go. Okay. Oops. And then there we go. All right, so those are the three user inputs. So for A, we get side A, B is side B, and then C is get angle C. And then down here, I need to look at a function or area formula that has those three things in it, and that will be this one. So copy and paste that, and then we're going to put it there. And then we are done with that function there. And then the last function here, we need two angles and a side. This would be the most difficult function, in my opinion, to fill in. We'll see why in a second. So we'll borrow A for the side. So control. So, and then we paste that there. And then we're going to borrow B and C. So copy C here. Like this. And then we're going to change this to B. And then this is get to angle B. And then C is angle C. But then we need to restrict. We need to do some restrictions. So we say while B plus C. B plus C is greater than or equal to 180. So if that's the case, then we don't need this parentheses. So if that's true, then what? We print the sum of angles B and C must be less than 180 degrees. All right, so that's what we tell the user, because we have to restrict that because the sum can be, they can't enter some of these two angles and be greater than 180 degrees. We want to make sure to tell them not to do that. So to do that, we're going to copy and paste these two lines of code again, so we're not in a while loop. So we ask them again to re-enter those two angles. And what this while loop does, it loops back until we enter the right numbers. That would be the sum of those two angles less than 180. So that's what that while loop does. And we've already excluded the angles being less than 0 or greater than 180 degrees. If you look at here, if it's less than 0 or greater than 180 degrees, we loop back and tell them to enter in between those two ranges. So in that range, I mean. So that's taken care of. All we have to do is tell them to enter those two angles, and the sum of those two angles must be between 0 and 180 degrees. That's all we have to do. All right, so we can delete that there, and then in the else command, all you need to do here is copy and paste our formula or equation. All right, so we copy and paste that there, and we are done. We're done creating our program. So let's go ahead and run it. We're gonna start with some exception handling. Let's choose a string. It says invalid input, re-enter. Let's enter 9. That's not one of the options. It does the same thing. Let's enter number 1, and for the base, we're going to enter 4.5, and the height, let's enter 7, and the area is 15.75. Let's check our calculator and see if we get the same thing. So given base and height, let's enter 4.5 and then 7. Oops, 7. And we get 15.75. So let's, in this calculator, let's look at option B, side, 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 and enter 10, 11, 12, and the triangle area is 51.52. Let's check that with our code. So we're going to hit G, and we're going to run it again. Let's choose option 2 now. and we enter 10, 11, 12, and we get 52.521. We round to 3 decimal places. So it's the correct value that we get. Same as hers, basically. All right, let's keep running the code. We're going to choose option 3 now. And for side A, I'm going to enter 3, and then B, 9.1, and angle C, let's enter 51. And we get 10.608. Let's check it with the calculator. So we choose this one now. So choose 3, 9.1, and let me see what the, all right, so 51 for the angle. And her area is also 10.608. Let me double check. Yes, we get the same value. All right, let's lastly check option 4 in this calculator. So for angle 1, we're going to enter 81 and then 180. Or side length, let's enter 3 and then 180. See what happens. It says angle should be between 0 and 80 degrees, 180 degrees. So the sum must be between these two. So what if, actually, let's enter 100. That's what I needed to do, enter. And it says the sum of the two angles cannot exceed 180 degrees. So her calculator is really good, and it takes care of angles, the sum of the angles being between 0 and 180 degrees. So let's enter angle 29, and it gives us an area of 2.293. So let's do the same thing in our program. We're going to hit a key that's not Y, and then we're going to choose option 4. And let's see, for side A, we're going to enter 3, and angle B, we're going to enter 100, and then 81. It says the sum of the angles must be less than 180 degrees. So we take care of that, and loops back to the angle. That's a good thing. So let me double check what we entered in her calculator. We entered 81 and 29. So let's actually enter 180 and see what happens. It does the same thing. It says angle B must be between 0 and 180 degrees. So enter, was it 81 and 29? Let's double check. Yes, 81, and then enter 29. So we get 2.293. Let me double check if that's what they have. Yes, we get the same value as they got. All right, so we are done. I'm going to exit the program, hit Y, and it exits the program. So this is how we create a calculator that computes the area of a triangle using Python. Thanks for watching.